Hey guys, it's Casey, and welcome back to my channel. Now, I don't know about any of you watching this, but for me personally, this time of year always leaves me feeling incredibly reflective on pretty much everything. And maybe that's just the lingering chaos from the holiday period, or the fact that for the last week we've been stuck in that awkward period between Christmas and New Year's in which the clinic always feels eerily empty, and so all I really have is time to think, and so that's what I do. But this year in particular, I've been feeling even more reflective than usual, particularly reflective, because 2025 just so happens to be my 10-year anniversary of being stuck here. And so I figured, why not try something new on my channel? A little experiment. And so to celebrate a decade of me being stuck in what you call the present day, I've decided that every day for the next 10 days, I'm going to film a little bite-sized, let's call them video essays, breaking down a strange and infuriating truth about being stuck in this particular moment of history. Think of it kind of like a pre-apocalyptic advent calendar, but instead of getting chocolate, you're going to be treated to one of my unsolicited opinions. Now, some of these observations are quite deep, while others are quite petty, and a few of them will be about things that you may have observed for yourself before, while others are things that, unless you were an outsider looking in, would never even enter your mind to think about. But for the most part, regardless of where they fall on that spectrum, they will all end up getting me in trouble in one form or another sooner or later. Maybe not today, maybe not this year, but eventually they will come back to bite me in the butt. And so if you choose to proceed with watching this series, you cannot say that you weren't pre-warned about the content within it. But if anything I say during it offends you in any way, just keep in mind that I am actively being stalked by an inanimate object. And so if you are feeling offended in any way, clutch onto that safety blanket, because you can hold that over my head and feel superior. So go grab a snack and settle in, and let's see where the rabbit hole takes us. Starting with ripping off the band-aid for the big one, the overreaching statement for the entire series, which all of the other videos will break down in smaller parts, which is, you all are a huge letdown. Before arriving here 5 years ago, I had thought very highly about life in the 21st century. I mean, everybody did. Electrical technology beyond the advancement of like the 1930s in my time was taboo at best and illegal at worst, which, by the way, thank you so much for, and I do mean that both genuinely and sarcastically, depending on the product we're discussing at any given point in time. I mean, in theory, you were the people who kickstarted the age of rapid technological advancement. You were the ones who laid the groundwork for interstellar exploration, and you built great, hunking mechanical machines that could fly through the sky. In theory, what wasn't there to think highly about? In theory, you are the great Siliconian societies that future generations look back on in wonderment and ask how and, frankly, why you did it. In theory, not so much. From where I am now, I think where a lot of the miscommunication came from is that a lot of your supposed greatness got confuddled with the greatness of the 20th century, which, looking in now from this close of a proximity, was an absolute banger of a century, and to be frank, I wish I was stuck there instead of here. Yeah, 21st century, not so great, which I'm not really sure what we were expecting if we consider the fact that you almost ruined the world. So the proof was kind of in the pudding from the get-go that things here were going to be shit. So I don't know why we thought otherwise. So I guess technology is an easy place to start. Obviously, you've got smartphones and you've got fast internet and you've got self-driving cars, sort of. And from a personal perspective, I am a big fan of all those things. I've enjoyed them very much so. But on a holistic level, your progress as a society still feels really scattered. I mean, instead of uniting your technological advancements to do something really cool, you've instead just funneled all the efforts into more convenience and entertainment. You're not utilizing your vast potential to solve the big issues. You're just utilizing it to develop faster, quicker ways to deliver pizza and an endless stream of bite-sized concentration destroyers. And that's what annoys me so much. It annoys me so much that you then have the audacity to sit there and say things like, too early to explore the universe, but too late to explore the world, which the ocean is sitting right there in front of you. Did you know, and this is me going to go off on a rant, but it's a well-earned one. Did you know that if the 17th century world explorers had a tenth of your technology available to them when they were exploring, they would have had every square inch of the ocean floor, mapped out and categorized within a 5-year period. Tops. 5 years tops. And then there's the question of space exploration itself, because that was supposed to be your crowning glory. You were supposed to be the people who paved the way for interstellar travel. But what do you have instead? You have a handful of billionaires playing astronaut while the rest of the world watches from home on the couches. It's like you're more interested in space tourism than you are in any real exploration. It's like you've built these rocket ships to try and escape Earth, but everyone's just taking them for joyrides instead. Your infrastructure? Have you ever seen anything more visually disturbing than a modern-day cul-de-sac? No heart, no character, no colour, no design, no backyards, no plant life. The walls all touch, and not to mention the fact that I'm pretty sure that they're specifically designed to cause gridlock on the road at least twice a day. Even just driving through one, even just thinking about one, gives me the heebie-jeebies. Even your entertainment is completely baffling to me. I cannot tell you how many times in the last 5 years somebody has come to me and told me that I simply must drop everything, rush home, turn on Netflix and watch this show because it is completely life-changing. And so I do that. I rush home and I turn on Netflix and I look for it expecting some groundbreaking, only to find that what they're recommending to me is the 12th installment of a franchise that went stale about 20 years ago. Your entire entertainment industry, whether it's music or movies or books or anything in between, is completely fueled by nostalgia and safe bets, which is code word for creative stagnation. And it's not just about the things that you create, it's how you approach life. You're cautious, all of you overly cautious, clinging to your routines and your safe zones. It's like you have a collective societal fear of letting loose. And sure, there's some sparks of brilliance here and there. I'm absolutely not going to deny that. There's movements that challenge the status quo and individuals who push back against boundaries, but that's the exception, not the rule. But I don't know what we were expecting looking back. I think we just thought that this era would be, brimming with excitement, like a hedonistic hellscape where rules didn't exist and anarchy ruled supreme, but you guys seemingly love rules and hate fun. It's almost like, and this is going to really, really offend people, and it's not supposed to, but it can't be helped. But it's almost like when they cut your umbilical cords, they routinely shove a stick up your butts and bottle feed you carbon monoxide. It's just rules, 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 rules. Everywhere you look, it's rules, rules, rules. No fun allowed, no fun at all. And if there is fun allowed, it is very highly regulated to the point that it's not fun anymore. It almost feels like you're all just busy treading water, hoping that the future will fix itself out while you distract yourself with TikTok dances and pumpkin spice novelty items, which, if you ask me, forget about the 95% population decrease in your lifetime. I think that's the real tragedy of your era. So I guess this is Casey signing off for the night. As always, stay weird and stay safe out there, and I will be back tomorrow with another video, a more specialized video with more potential to be offensive than even this one, which is already highly offensive, but because it's so specialized, they're going to get more specialized as we go on. People who fit into that specific genre are going to find them very difficult to stomach, I think. But the intention, as always, is not to be personally offensive. They are not personal attacks on anyone. They are just observations of society. So I will see you tomorrow. I hope you all have a good night and stay safe out there.